Can modern architecture be exciting and future-proof? Can financial centers be less bland and boring than they are? You see, I have a problem with modern architecture in financial areas. Usually there are predictable lines, a lot of glass, straight, very predictable, right? And after 5 p.m., those areas kind of die. Well, not in Amsterdam. Today, we've been given an unprecedented access for the first time ever to record the building I'm about to show you from inside and outside. This is one of the craziest buildings you ever see. This is the Valley. This is one of the two public entrances of the valley. This is the north entrance and they're identical to the south one. In the middle, this imposing light kind of reminds me of an upside down mountain or a giant's ear, designed by William Haley-Hers. It gives a lot of soft glow ricocheting from these Spanish stones. Kind of feel like you're in Malaga for a second. It has this nice entrance, and these stairs lead to the lobby, which I'm about to show you right now. We are in the lobby of the valley, the most amazing lobby I've ever seen. On the floor, Spanish marble. I was also on the walls. In the lobby area, you have a cafeteria, a beauty clinic, a restaurant, and this gorgeous floating garden with real plants and ultraviolet light, just in case you need some little bit energy due to dark the Netherlands winter. And one more thing, there is a pond. Residents in the valley are well taken care of. You won't miss a thing here. In fact, there is a native app in the valley for the residents through which, and I'm not kidding, you can order anything you want and it will come to you. You have florists, massage, even the nannies, food, obviously, everything you need through the app. You can even report a problem or anything you need will be done there. And that will come to the central nervous center, the brain of the operations, concierge, which is 24 hours open and also, by the way, includes the security system. It's very hard to enter this place without an invitation. Not a bad place to live in Amsterdam. And of course, the residents here have their private entrance. Why? Well, there are football players, local celebrities, and etc. And they want to have discretion. They want to come in with their own entrance. And what an entrance it is. I really like the feeling here. Dark ceiling, dark walls, emperador marble floors, this really nice plant arrangement, private post boxes, which Mikael told me to mention. And it's just a nice feeling of getting in here. You feel like you're instantly getting into an area which is the value that you pay for. And of course, there is a wellness center, and not just any wellness center, a really premium feel wellness center. Have a look at this. In which kind of apartment block wellness center do you have floor to ceiling natural light coming in from the street? And by the way, you don't see this now, but Mikael is probably showing you later. There are a bunch of cars there. There's a quite substantial traffic there. Can't hear anything. only thing I can hear is the constant flow of this kind of like a wellness flow of water, which is quite tranquil and brings a nice, like stabilizing feeling. And imagine you're working all day, doing your finance stuff, doing your hedging stuff, and you come here, you have this floating wellness center that brings you into the peace of your day. And I like this as well. It's like it feels like you're in Finland and at the same time, Amsterdam, because this is like it looks also like it's floating. There's soft glow coming from underneath, and also from there, even these ventilations look like they're made out of, I don't know, Rolls-Royce Phantom. And this stone floor, usually swimming pools have this like a blue, quite generic floor. Not here, it's stone. It's really looks like infinite, fade-proof design. And hey, this is one of my favorite walls I've seen in Amsterdam. It looks like we're in an Italian mountain, just cut through. These shades of different shades this marble has is really phenomenal to look at it in person. And then this whole thing is, by the way, very symmetrical. There's a symphony of symmetry here. And of course, there's a finished sauna where you can do and talk about your business schedules all day. This is a premium wellness center, not for every resident in the building, only those at the top floor. And as you would expect in a building so premium as the Valley, the apartments inside look even better than the outside. Floor to ceiling windows, really wide, bringing in that gray Amsterdam light. Actually, it is really gray, and it is really windy, rainy, and it's still, the light comes in, it feels premium, it feels like there's an abundance of light and space, which is the slogan for luxury and premium. And I like everything that they've done here. Triple glazed windows, seems like it. And this kitchen is such a good contrast. Black. It's a nice space to host, nice space to cook, interact with your kids. This is a 2-bedroom apartment. Each bedroom in this building has their own bathroom, which was kind of like the signature that the designers wanted to have. And also, one of the most special things in these buildings are these glass doors. Not very common to have glass doors. Brings in a lot of light from the other spaces. And this is a 100 square meter apartment in the Valley. What you're watching today is not a typical building. In fact, it is the world's best skyscraper. It's chosen by the Emporis Skyscraper Review, which is, by the way, the Oscars of skyscrapers. There were 600 buildings in competition that year, and this one won. Why? Well, first of all, look at the madness. It looks like a Lego brick mountain from the front and business in the back. This clean but also irregular shapes of rock. All these rocks are from one quarry in Spain. Every single piece of these stones that you'll see around today in the episode are hand installed with numbers in the back, so the stonemasons will know exactly where to place them. Imagine the hassle that took. In fact, it took 5 years to build this incredible structure. What you see behind me is the third tower. There are in fact 3. One is 100 meters, another one is 71 meters tall, another one is 60 meters tall. From 26 floors, 20 and 17 floors in total. I absolutely adore this because typically this is not done in architecture anymore. We don't dare to push boundaries. We don't want to be different. We want to have logical buildings because logic is easy to explain. It's easy to defend. When you do things logically, you don't go wrong because you say, well, we did things logically, therefore we cannot be wrong. No, we got to stop that. We have to push for the madness. We have to push the envelope. And the architects here, the MVRDV, are the leading architects in Netherlands. The guy who runs the show there, Willy Maas, was the lead architect. When the landowners gave him a project, they said, look, we have X amount of money. Willy Maas went and did this, it looks even better than the concept. What you're seeing is basically a construction of a jungle in the city. You have plants everywhere, 220 pieces of different wood, bushes, all sorts of animals live here. There are even birds sanctuaries, bat sanctuaries. Everything is automated. The way they have managed to build this into a ecologically positive, by the way, yes, it is eco-positive. So basically it's carbon positive. That's what it is. It's carbon positive. It takes the heating from the residual heating of a power station not far from here. So that heating was just taken and used here, and the cooling system is used from the water from the nearby lake. It is so innovative. There are solar panels all over this building, and in fact there are 375 car parks underneath the building, and each of them have electric points. Well, what is really cool is this space. I'm actually kind of freaked out to walk on this bridge, Mikhail, but this is so. Anyway, this is the pond. You see the pond? It is absolutely brilliant. Why? Well, underneath is the lobby. You actually walk in there, and it kind of gives you this interesting pond experience inside. It's like a zen. You walk in from your busy lives, and you have this moment of reflection where the water elements are bringing calmness into it. How interesting design. Where else do you see this being replicated? And the lines are so irregular. They are zigzagging around. By the way, all these stones, 40,000 of them. 40,000 pieces. I mentioned that probably already. And then if you pan out, if you look at the buildings, you have to look at these. There are offices from 1st floor to 7th floor. And from 7th floor onwards, they're all residential. There are 200 residential apartments ranging from 55 square meters to up to 400 square meters. Let me take you to this, panning out to the incredibly serene area, because I want to show you this angle that just really defies any logics. But I can't stop staring at this. It is absolutely bonkers. It really looks like a 5-year-old was building Lego bricks, and then he actually managed to complete the tower. Everything is irregular. It just defies anything that you might seen in architecture before. The windows are different sizes. There is bushes coming from some angles. There are massive sky bridges over there. There is this float and standalone, I guess, a room, and you can even see the stones. It's just madness to look at. Absolutely madness. And by the way, we're in one of the most sterile areas of Amsterdam. It's where all the buildings around are kind of, what do you say, corporate, kind of lifeless. But this is future-proof. It's fate-proof. It brings this element of, yeah, this building is here to stay for another 500 years. The valley is not a typical skyscraper. It is not closed off, not elitist. No, in fact, there are public spaces, like these jagged line stairs. You can come here, it's a public area. You can visit, you can stay down, you can relax. That is the brilliance of Amsterdam. That is why I love this city. Even in the heart of the financial center, they have a public opening to anyone to see it. This skyscraper, the valley, is an actual ecosystem. There are restaurants inside. In fact, there are shops, food, cafeterias, all kinds of things. And one of the restaurants is Nela, one of the best restaurants in Amsterdam. And today, we're gonna go and show you the incredible food they make with live fire. welcome to Nela restaurant, which in Sanskrit means pure. It's part of the skyscraper, the valley. It is incredibly unique because it is discreet and very elegant with minimalist design, but incredible food. Let me take you inside and show you what this restaurant has to show. Started by two brothers from India, Hari and Rupesh Shetty, this restaurant oozes elegance, but in a nice minimalist way. As soon as you enter, there's this incredible feeling you get, especially because it's all about live fire elements. So the cuisine is a combination of all world's cuisines, whatever they feel like it is. But the fire, you feel the heat immediately. You see the chef's table, the kitchen right there. So each table, each area has its own element. It combines different kind of styles. So you're not in a one restaurant, one place all the time. If you change tables, you change kind of the restaurant feel. And they're just starting the dinner service, so there's a little bit busyness outside, which is great. Really elegant, a lot of wine. A restaurant needs its own wine wall. And if you actually have a look at the elements of the lights here, the ceiling, the island in the middle, and then you get into this really stylish center bar that is just lit really well, has good materials. Everything in this restaurant feels not just minimalistic, but kind of practical. Even the chairs, which I really like, are kind of like Scandinavian feeling. You have a combination of styles here. You won't get bored in Nela. If you live in any city, you probably come across a lot of bland and boring buildings. This city, Amsterdam, is no different to others. I think for too long we're designing buildings to be optimized, maximized, and efficient and spreadsheets or whatever. And then they end up being buildings like that. Boring, lifeless, no soul, nothing. I think we can do better. We can do much better. We can. We've done this. This is what we've done. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, it's because it's following a principle called biophilic design. It's an architectural approach to incorporate natural elements in architecture to make us feel part of the nature, not just taking from nature. And it's definitely possible. Biophilic design is the way to go, and the Valley has proved it right. Thank you for watching.